American Prohibition Museum. They don't have a sign here. Well, they do kind of, but you'll see it in the other clip. But when you walk in, you're like in this little room that's like the turn of the 20th century, and you can see her vlogging behind me, vlogging. You know, 2 content creators. But it's a little like artifact type of room. So you walk in, and here they're like, he said this is when the buzz of Prohibition was coming, like around town, but people weren't sure if it was actually going to happen yet or not. So it was just gossip at this point. And then as we walk through, they got different artifacts and stuff like that. So let's go.
The Bible says the man that don't provide for his family is worse than an infidel. According to our standard of gold and silver, Abraham was worth $1.5 billion. David was worth $3 billion. Solomon was worth $5 billion. Solomon could have hired Andrew Carnegie for a butler, J. Pierpont Ford to become his lawn, and Andrew Mellon for a chauffeur, and John D. to black his boots. America needs a tidal wave of the old-time religion. America needs to be taken down to God's...
That was our top box.
I did too. I was like,
animatronic we have. Over here we have Carrie Nation, 1900 receives a vision from God that said, "Come to Kiowa, Kansas. I'll stand by you." So that is grab.
Imagine having a store named Drugs now. People be like, "Oh my god."
I want some of that good watches.
Yeah, right. You don't want that.
I would drive something like this.
You see them sometimes. The Bentleys and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, they would spend a lot.
The Coast Guard boat fires its machine gun to show these outlaws that they mean business. Since the passage of Prohibition, it seems like this has become commonplace up and down the Atlantic coast. There, that last volley got the rough runner's attention. The illegal booze is taken to port, where they and other confiscated liquors are sorted by U.S. Customs officials.
Yeah, he's wild.
Just
That's
look at all that launch. Hundreds of cases, thousands of bottles, rum from Cuba, whiskey from Canada.
I turned down my bowl of G with one hand.
Oh yeah.
From port, the bottles are taken to open fields.
Rochelle and I had to get a boomerang here with the replica machine guns and the criminal lineup.
What do you want?
We want a drink.
Gus sent me. Gus sent me.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on. You better let me in.
I would have got a cocktail. That's right there.
So we made it to the end of the museum. We made it to the end. Yeah, I am vlogging. We made it to the end of the museum, and you end at this cocktail bar like this. And if you buy in advance, then
Actually, there's still 3 more rooms to go.
oh, there are. Oh, okay. Well, take that. Oh, okay. Well, ignore everything I just said. Because there are 3 more rooms. But when you buy a ticket, you can get a cocktail here or a mocktail if you have kids. So far so good. And he had to speak to a guy at the door and say that Gus sent us, right? Because I couldn't really hear everything.
Yeah, because we always said that Gus sent us. And he looked through the people and then over automatically.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna check out the rest of this after we get our cocktails, and then after this we'll be at the arcade and the bowling alley and stuff. Christian just woke up from a nap, so excuse him if he doesn't look excited, but we just made it to the Golden Place and Arcade, Frames and Games in Cooler, Georgia. So we're gonna play a game of bowling, probably get into some arcade games and stuff like that before we head back to the Airbnb. But yeah, you're fun. So it's me, my brother, my nephews, my brother's girlfriend, Edie, the real Edie Marie, Of course, my sister and Christian. Christian loved bowling for his second birthday. Let's see if he still loves it, because you know kids, their tastes change all the time. So we're just gonna try it and see. We'll try it out.
Gutter ball. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm still a winner. You know?
It's the positivity for me.
The inspirational speech.
It's the inspirational.
Hold on, buddy. We're gonna do this one. Look at you, buddy. Oh, you can go ahead. I know. I got it.
It's bucket after bucket. It's bucket after bucket. It's bucket after freaking bucket. Yay.
So today we are going to the Pinpoint Heritage Museum. It is the last black-owned Gullah Geechee island in this area, because if you didn't know that Hilton Head, Savannah, all that used to be Gullah Geechee territory, which are like the slaves that got dropped off from the Caribbean or escaped to the island. So typically if you hear people that have like, if they say they're Gullah Geechee, they typically have like a Caribbean accent because they, you know, were able to hold on to their heritage and stuff. So this is the last black-owned, because Hilton Head is completely developed, gentrified, bought over by, you know, we know.
If you know, you know.
Right, you know. So I'm excited to go, and Edie's dressed up. Yes. Rochelle's all bug sprayed up and ready to go.
Not bug sprayed
and
up.
I'm giving LA.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
like,
really like this hair. I like the half up down. Really
yeah,
like
me too. And the bandana halter, like I'm just giving LA like yes, you know,
like bohemian vibes.
So we are gonna enjoy our ladies' day. Then we're gonna go downtown. I saw this gift shop that had a really cute African print skirt and bag and stuff. So we're gonna check that out. Go to a bar because we can't do the little street pub
hopefully
thing.
The bar has oysters. I've been really craving oysters.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
so pressed for it. Like, so hopefully the one we pick has it. If not, hopefully they have some other type of seafood that I can like, eat.
Exactly. So we'll tape when we get there. So we made it. We're in the visitor parking lot. Edie with the fit on though. Hey, get into it. Get into it.
It's a hype man for me.
Okay. But it's really pretty here. It's very like low country-esque. So we're about to go in, pay. It doesn't look crowded, which is good. So we could get all the attention, all the pictures, everything that we want. Yeah. And then we'll just take it from there. I don't think I've ever had boiled crabs. So this is where they would boil the crabs at, I believe. Yep, crab boiling pavilion. We're gonna come here, boil them, get them ready to eat. As you can see on this sign, it breaks it down for you. So this is one part of the Pinpoint Heritage Museum that just breaks down the history of the island, where the name Pinpoint came from. It's actually a Native American word, and it ended up being shortened to Pinpoint. Clarence Thomas is actually from Pinpoint as well. So they're just giving us the history. Like it says, you know, our grandchildren need to know who they are, where they came from, what the ancestors did. All of that helps us just with our pride and identity. But you'll hear me talk more about that later on in this clip. And then the next clip, you're going to see one of the businessmen from this island. So this guy was a businessman on the island that pretty much owned like a lot of the factories and things like that that employed the black people on the island. But his name was Old Man Varn. That's how he went by. But his name was actually Algernon Smith Varn Sr. But the interesting thing here on this plaque is that this island, or a lot of the islands, the Gullah Geechee Islands, didn't feel the effect of the Great Depression, especially Pinpoint, because it was secluded. Like, there was little reason for people to venture out because all of their work and everything was on the island, their work, the food, the family, and many people didn't intrude from the outside because it was pretty much untouched. So it really was like their own little world, like their own little bubble, and they didn't deal with the harsh effects of a lot of things that happened in the 20th century.
They get through, we never go in involved with it until they get finished. And when they finish, they dump them on the table for us. And we go in and pick cloth. After they wash it, we do the test. All right, now go wash our hands, and we put our apron on, put our cardboard in our lap, and we just pick cloths.
So this clip is just breaking down the ecosystem of the marsh, the life cycle of oysters and crabs, and just everything that relates to the nature of the marsh. And this is a replica of the factory. The factory was actually located on this land, on this site, and everybody on the island worked at the factory. So Old Man Varn employed the entire island of Pinpoint, and when the factory closed, it affected all of the families.
And the Angolans were a group of West African people. Well, Geechee is believed to be derived from Geechee, another group of West African people. Now, the Angolans are going to be known for their Sweetwater basket weaving, while the Geechee people are going to be more so known for their rice farming. But here in Pinpoint, we say Gullah is the language and Geechee are the people. But that's not true for every community. In some places, Geechee refers to the people, Geechee is the language, while Gullah refers to the people. But before y'all walk through that door, you have a vocab test. Alright? Now, a lot of these words may just sound southern, but I promise they're Gullah Geechee words. First of which being churn.
Children.
Just want to say, I know everyone here is, or almost everyone's here is southern. Next is river.
River.
Now this next one, C-O-O-T-A, can be pronounced one of two ways, either kura or kara. It's an animal with a shell. Say again? Exactly. Now this next one, I'll use in a sentence. How una podun?
You.
How are you doing? Now this next word, gumbo, it's not referring to the stew, but actually something inside of it. The root? The root? What's the name of that root? Okra. Actually, when the word gumbo first comes over, it's from a West African language, and it means okra. And as it's here in the United States, it's somehow going to change meaning. The last but not least, we have woman.
Woman.
All right.
See, this is like the marshy area. I'm gonna walk up a little further so y'all can see. We just finished watching a documentary about Pinpoint, and it was very insightful. It was very educational to just know the history of this island and how everything has started and how the people have such a rich history here. I think those are actually actual homes in the distance. I'm gonna flip the camera and show you in a second. but it's just so breathtaking. And it's so sad too, because so many of the islands, like I said, Hilton Head, Defusky Island, I think that's how you say it, there's so many that have been bought over by the government or just developers for recreation and resort purposes. And while that's fun for us, a lot of people have also lost their heritage and their homes and, you know, just their history. And I think history is so important, because when you understand where you came from, it builds a sense of pride, identity, you know, better sense of direction, and a better insight as to where you could possibly even be going. So I'm a huge history buff. I feel like, you know, I have a lot of pride in who I am and in my identity, because I understand my history, and I'm still learning. There's still things I'm learning, but you know, it's very, very interesting here. You can hear the animals in the background, but look at this. It reminds me of Their Eyes Are Watching God. I don't know if y'all saw the remake of the movie with Halle Berry, but it's just simple living. The documentary said that it was very simple living. They didn't have much. They made toys out of grass, like grass dolls. You know, they made their own baseballs. They really just, really was a small community where they just worked hard, loved on each other like neighbors, loved God, and just did their best to, you know, make sure that they were taking care of each other. If one person had food and the other one didn't, they would feed them. Nobody ever went hungry. They would provide them clothes. They would help with each other's schooling. It was just nice, and I'd like to see communities like that. I feel like I wish we could get back to that as a whole, but I don't know. I feel like the National Park Service should take over this land and make sure that it stays a historic site, because I would hate to see this disappear. It's just so interesting. You can see the oysters and all that good stuff. This is the window where they would pass the gallon bucket of oysters into, so that the women can continue, you know, shucking the oysters or doing whatever they had to do, cleaning them off, getting them ready to package. And then this is like a replica ice room where they would have all the oyster stores. They could be nice and fresh. The unique thing about how they package their oysters is that they had a clear top, so customers could see the quality of the oysters they were getting. And that was like advanced technology and innovation for that time. And even the machine that they used, the canning machine, was definitely like advanced technology for that time period, with the oysters when the oysters were being sold. So they definitely were ahead of their time. This is the machine, replica of it. Definitely were ahead of their time. But all in all, they took pride in their work. They worked hard, and they really loved what they did. So we just got one more building to check out, the Double Crab building, and then we pretty much are done. And they according to the movie, they have the best double crabs ever. The way that they do their double crabs is different from other parts of Georgia. I didn't have the double crab, but Michelle had it at this restaurant we went to. How was it?
To me, it was good.
So what did they do? Did they like take the crab meat out and then put it back in a shell? Like, how did they do it?
I'm not an expert, but I would think, considering it was my first time ever having a double crab, they cook it like how you cook crab cakes in Maryland, and then you put it back in the shell for presentation.
Oh, okay. Well, they said in the movie that they have the best ones here in Pinpoint, so maybe it's some point.
Try to make it for content.
Yeah.
Or just reference like the history and like how they.
That ought to be really cool. Yeah. So
You have to excuse me.
we shall see.
Yeah, it's hot, right?
We got that
Flies.
one building over there, and then we're done.
Flies trying to fly in my face.
But so far, this place is really nice, and it's affordable. It's nice and intimate. Definitely a great place to come with the family. These are actual oyster shells. But we're going into the Double Crab building. And they actually used to, I think I got it in a vlog earlier, but they used to make their buildings out of oyster shells, mud, something else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can withstand a whole hurricane.
Yeah, because a lot of the buildings are still, ooh, it smells good in here. You can tell they clean. A lot of the buildings are still standing today. So these are the people that were in the movie. You got Boy, Pigeon, Rabbit, Witch. Everybody has a nickname in the island. It's very similar to the Caribbean. Like, nobody calls you by your government name. Like, honestly. I know. And honestly, I didn't even know some people's names until they like passed away and you see their name on the funeral thing. And you're like, who is this? Like, you know. I'm going to go ahead and end part 2 here. Part 3 will be the final vlog, and that's going to document our ladies' night out and about in downtown Savannah and the family beach day. So don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll see you on the next vlog.